gonna start intro to place with Bootsy. He's on a prong collar. We've been just introducing leash pressure work. So to make it nice and simple, I would not start with e-collar. I would just start with a slip lead or a prong collar to get them on, mark it with good, and then release them. It's important that you use a release word so that they know when they can get off. So I'm not even gonna say place, I'm not gonna say anything yet, I'm just gonna literally use leash pressure to get them on. And as you can see, he doesn't wanna go on the placement, and that's okay. So I'm just gonna shorten up my leash like this, make sure my leash is horizontal, and then get on. Good, so I'm gonna mark that was good, and then I'm going to make sure to use a release word every time he can get off. I don't care that he's not laying down right now. My main goal is that he goes on, he stays on for a second, and then he waits for the release word. Eventually, it will be an auto down on place, but I don't even know if he knows down yet. So we're just gonna get on. Okay, you can get off. Break. Good. All right, so make sure that when you say break before you move or before you pull. So they don't understand the release word yet, but you're gonna teach it to them by saying the release word and then guiding them off. So I'm not saying place yet, I'm just showing him that he needs to move with the leash. And then if he tries to get off, I would just stop him by having the leash nice and short so that he can't get off. Notice I'm gonna say break before I move. Break. All right. Gonna pull him on with the leash again. And he's moving much more easily with the leash now. He's trusting the placement more, he's trusting me more, he's understanding leash pressure. And this is just day one. All I've done with him is a little bit of leash pressure work, a little bit of e-collar for the crate, and our walk, and that's it. Break. All right. Lowering him on again. Remember, the leash needs to be horizontal. Break. So let me show that again. So a lot of people will try to pull them on like this, and that can work, but a lot of times they'll move back, they'll resist against that leash pressure because you're pulling upward. So pulling horizontally, nice and horizontally, gets them to move forward instead of moving backwards. Break. Okay, demonstrating the leash again, nice and horizontal, and he's anticipating now, he's understanding what he needs to do, and so he's not resisting, so that's awesome. Break. Horizontal leash, gentle leash pressure. Good. Break. Horizontal leash. Mark with good. Good, just neutral. You don't need to be like, good boy, good boy. It's just good. It's just a mark. It's just a marker to tell them they did it right. No pressure is going to be applied. And then the release word tells them you're done. Break. And it's normal that they don't understand the release word. So you see he was unsure about getting off. Just guide them off with the leash. Okay, once they start going on pretty easily, you can even start naming it in the first session. Just, you don't want them resisting and then you're like, place, 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 okay? So, place, leash pressure, just like before. Stop him from getting off. Break. Remember to say the word before you make a movement so that the word predicts the action that's going to happen. Place. Good. Break. Awesome. One more. Place. Now leash pressure is applied. Leash pressure relaxes when they get on. Another thing you want to make sure to do is that you're actually relaxing your hands, your muscles, the leash, okay? Some people will break. Some people will do this. Place. And then they're like this. They're just like tension on the leash. That doesn't tell the dog that, you know, what they did will stop the leash pressure. So you want to make sure that once they get on, relax the leash. You want this to be hanging down. Even if it's not all the way like the whole length of the leash, you still want to in some way, even if it's like this, now it's like this. This is relaxing the leash pressure. Break. So then your next next goal would be to start fading out the leash pressure, maybe using your body language more. So let me try that now. Bootsy. So he's not even facing me, so I at least want him to kind of be paying attention before I try it. Bootsy, place. Now see my body language? He doesn't understand, that's okay. Little leash pressure. And you will eventually fade out your body language. Eventually you'll just stand here and say place and they get on. But you want to help them as much as possible in the beginning, even if it's with a little bit of food. Although he's not taking food right now, it's very common for dogs to not want to eat right away when they first get to a new environment. And he's also pretty sure he's free-fed, so that means that he gets the bowl put down, refilled every time it runs out, and there's no schedule, so he doesn't really have motivation to eat like on demand, and that's also fine. We're just going to get him on the schedule. Break. So another thing you want to do is, once they start understanding the pattern, they're probably just going to start going on before you say anything, before you move. That's great and all, but what I want you to do is actually stop them, make them wait for a command, because you're trying to teach them a command, but you can't really teach them the word if they're going on without you even getting to say it. So if they do start to anticipate, like, oh, okay, I'm going to go on, let me go on, all you do is shorten your leash, stop them like this. So see, I just stop them. Make them wait a second. You don't need to say anything, just stop them. And then say, place. See if I can fade out my leash pressure. Just ever so slight pressure. Good. Break. Gonna turn him around so he's kind of paying attention. Place. See, I have a little hand gesture here. Again, that will be faded out. But I didn't need to use leash pressure that time. All I did was have him face the place bed with the leash. And once he did, I said place, gave him some visual cues, and he went on. So he's already learning the word. First session, day one, it's not that complicated. You know, people try to overcomplicate it. It doesn't need to take that long. Break. Okay, let's do a little bit more and then give him a break. Place. So I'm moving, see how I'm moving the opposite side of the bed, hoping that he'll follow me on. He didn't, that's okay. Gentle leash pressure, and there he goes. He will get that. It's only day one, and I'm really happy with his progress so far. You're so soft. You're such a good boy, Bootsy. He can be a little jumpy. There's some noises in the background, and that stuff should go away with training. Another thing about Bootsy is he has a bite record. He has some reactivity issues, but overall he's not a difficult dog. He just literally needs a leader, some structure, will be golden. Break. One more. Bootsy, and he's distracted. So again, it's important to work in a lower distraction environment. My kids are home for spring break. I don't really have that option right now, but ideally you start your first session with no distractions so that you don't have to take into account, oh, they're looking over there, they hear that, what's that? There's a person coming in. You want it as quiet and calm as possible so that they can really process the information. Bootsy, place. You went around instead of on, that's okay. Here comes the leash pressure. Good. Another thing I want you to notice is I'm not repeating myself. I'm not saying place and then waiting to place. Bootsy, place. No, it's place. And then this is what happens after place. You get on. Place, what happens, okay? Really get out of the habit of repeating yourself and trying to give them multiple chances. It's one thing if you're like, oh, they really didn't hear me, they didn't even know I said anything because they were looking over there. That's a gray area. But if you know that it's a pretty quiet environment and they can hear you, you should say it one time. In a distracting environment, I wouldn't say it more than like twice, okay? They shouldn't be distracted. They should be looking to you for guidance, not what can I look at, what can I get into, what can I smell? None of that. So they can get a correction for those things, and then you can say your command and follow through. It's all about the one command and the immediate, with a couple second delay follow through. Break. Let's actually do one more. So I'm going to see, I just popped his head up just a little bit to get him to stop sniffing. Place. Let's see if I can fade out my leash pressure. He still is not willing to comply quite yet without that, and that's okay. And he also doesn't really understand it 100%. He's starting to understand it. It's not quite there yet. So we can help them out. In the beginning, they're in kindergarten. Remember, guys, they're just babies in their mind of this training. This is kindergarten for them. College, we start holding them more accountable, getting more strict. But we're also not going to coddle them. We're not going to do too much hand holding so that they can, like, a lot of people will give treats every time. For like a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, they're still giving treats. Years, they're still giving treats. A little bit in the beginning is fine. You want to fade it out within the week, okay? We don't need to have them relying on those treats in order to comply. Break.